Alright, today I'll be taking a look at XRP, taking a look at some more macro levels, something that I haven't done in a while. I don't really chart XRP that often because I haven't been trading it, and I mean, in the bear market, there's not much to do. I mean, once we kind of find support, then I mean, you know that this is support, and you're just kind of waiting for price to do something. And right now, price is doing something. We've got another move up towards resistance. So I pretty much want to go through and see if I can mark out some more macro resistance levels for XRP. So first thing that I notice here, I have two volume ranges pulled, one from the highs and one covering all of Binance's price data. And you can see both the volume ranges, point of controls, are right around 38 cents. And we have held support on, around the point of control. We held support on the value area low of this smaller range here. So off the bat, with the context of the volume levels being above the point of control and, holding it as support before getting a move above it, in my opinion, gives a better likelihood of us getting a move up towards the value area high, either of the larger range or of the smaller range. And so just considering volume, I'd say that, the fact that we have now held support on the point of control before getting a move above it, unlike what we did back here, where we just, found resistance on it, got a break above it, and then failed to hold it as support, held resistance again, but then price got above it, held it as support before getting a move to the upside. So just from that, I'd say this move is definitely looking a bit stronger than this move back here. And another thing I want to point out before I get into specific levels is XRP's more macro market structure, which right now is still bearish. We are still in a downtrend, and unfortunately for XRP, we will not break that downtrend, at least on the weekly time frame, until we come all the way up above this high around $1.42, because that was the last lower high before this lower low down here. And so XRP is, in a similar spot to a lot of altcoins I looked at, including Ethereum, where, its weekly market structure is a lot different than Bitcoin's. Bitcoin actually put in a lower low around November, if I remember correctly. Let me double check. Yeah, so in November 2022, whereas a lot of things like XRP, like Ethereum, if you zoom in, did not put in a lower low. We made a higher low here. Now, if we did come down and make a lower low and close below there, then this high up here would have been the lower high in the weekly downtrend. But, that is not the case, at least not on Binance. I mean, we can check some other exchanges, I guess. Maybe see if we took that low on Bybit, and it does not look like we took that low on Bybit either. We can check one more. I almost said let's check Coinbase, but yeah, whoops, can't really do that. All right, let's check KuCoin. Did KuCoin take the low? No, it did not. So 3 out of 3 exchanges I checked did not take the low. That's a good enough sample size for me to say that the technical lower high, the market structure point that we have to break this weekly downtrend, is still all the way up here at $1.40-ish. And I said this about Ethereum as well, but this kind of makes me think that there's a decent chance that we at some point come back for the lows. Whether we, get a move to the upside, come back for the lows later, just to make a lower high that is a bit closer, a bit better of a market structure point. Maybe we actually just, start coming back down now. But, in my opinion, it would be better if we take this low, because it would make a lower high that is much lower. It would, allow for a break of bearish market structure a lot sooner, rather than, waiting for XRP to pump all the way up towards its highs before breaking market structure. But doesn't mean that we have to put in a lower low, but it would look better, at least in terms of market structure. Now, taking a look at where price is right now, we did actually just SFP these highs up here. On the daily time frame, you can see that we did not close a candle above that level. We just left a wick up there, and we even had slight divergences on the daily time frame, This wave back here was slightly lower. Money flow was technically lower as well than it was back here. And we are also at a pretty key support resistance flip. So if I put a box over this area, you can see, in general, this zone is a pretty key support resistance flip, with resistance in this area, support in this area, and then, we're tapping it as resistance now. So I'd say that that zone right there is the first zone that we have to break above in order to show a bit of strength here. Locally, we are technically in an uptrend, you could say, where we had low, high, higher low, technically higher high, even though it was an SFP. But for strength, I would really like to see another move up and get some closes above this high. And I think that claiming this zone here and, also preferably testing it as support again could, provide us with the strength to get a move up towards some of these value area highs. Now, after that, the next zone of resistance is right in between 75 cents and 69 cents, where if I go back out to the weekly time frame, we have this value area high, and we can also adjust this and maybe take the volume from the lows and see what that's looking like. So I'll pull it from right there, and the value area high is pretty similar. It moved up a little bit. Point of control and value area lows seems to be about the same. So, you might want to adjust this up and kind of cover this whole area here. But we also have a golden pocket if you take it from that high. The golden pocket 786 is lining up right in this zone. So again, I would really like to see us get a move up towards this resistance, maybe then come back and test this zone for support before getting a move higher. Also, if I turn on my monthly levels, we also have an untapped monthly level right above the value area high. So I will move that box up slightly again, and I'll also add in untapped monthly here. And after that, I would look towards this value area high, because if you take a fib from this high, the golden pocket lines up pretty perfectly with it. And this is also right around $1, pretty significant psychological level. So, that would probably be the next zone of resistance I would watch. We also have an untapped monthly above the value area high. That's a key level I would watch. And the 786 of this fib is coming in above that monthly. But we also, if I turn on this box, have a 12-hour order block right above the 786. I would have liked if the 786 was inside of this order block, but zooming in, you can see we have that blue candle in between two purples before price came down to break structure, and we have not come back up to test it. And this was really the only order block that I was able to find. All the other ones had either been tapped or weren't looking too good. So at least in this area, that was the best order block that I could find. And right now, all of those resistances are below the market structure point. So, these all have potential to make a lower high before coming back down to take out the lows. That is still a possibility that we get all the way up towards this order block, put in a high, and then, come down for the lows to continue the downtrend. That is still very much a possibility, which again kind of makes me wish that we would put in a lower high somewhere maybe a bit lower and then come down for the lows, which would then allow us to transition into bullish market structure much quicker. So now let's take a look at market Cipher, and on the monthly we are starting to bottom out here seemingly. We printed, 2 green dots right here, and since momentum has started getting a move to the upside, we do not have money flow on this exchange, though. Let's see if we can find an exchange with more data. And all right, on Bitstamp, the money flow is in the red, but it is also curving to the upside. And I mean, it's not too far away from the zero line, but it is, not looking the strongest. You can kind of see an outward curve here, kind of looking like it wants to do something like this and curl over. but that could easily change. If price starts pumping up violently, that money flow will start to tick to the upside. And we did not make a lower low, so we don't have any divergences here. So now let's check the weekly. Is looking pretty decent here in my opinion, at least very locally. We see good direction with momentum, and more locally we're starting to see some good direction with money flow, going from right here. It actually pretty aggressively got a push up towards the zero line right here. So right now weekly is looking pretty decent in my opinion. Momentum also making higher highs. The VWAP is making higher highs. Now the 3-day, definitely not looking as good. I mean, locally we have some downward direction here with money flow. Kind of downward direction with momentum at the moment as well, if you go from this wave. And was that a divergence? It was. That was a divergence as we SFP'd this high. So that's definitely something to consider. 3-day is not looking super bullish, but, I could see this easily turning around. The VWAP has not come down too far, so it could easily turn around and we could print a green dot here. And I'd say the 2-day kind of backs that up. We see that direction with the money flow moving to the upside, kind of showing that, the 3-day might just be lagging behind and this money flow might start curving up soon. And the VWAP on the 2-day, it's still not really turning to the upside. I'm not getting too much from the VWAP on the 2-day. It kind of looks similar to the 3-day, where it just kind of came down here. It could turn back to the upside and we could burn the green dot here, or it could flop over. It's hard to tell right now. But the daily time frame, we, also see that direction with money flow, but the VWAP is looking a lot better. Looks like we actually want to print a green dot maybe today. VWAP getting very close to crossing over. Money flow has just crossed back into the green, so let's see if we can make a higher high as opposed to this wave, which may indicate continuation of this uptrend. I mean, we really didn't see money flow get super thick on this daily. It only peaked into the green here, and if things are going to kind of continue here, it looks to me like this may just be consolidation before another move to the upside. 12-hour money flow is in the green. Very locally, it's come down a little bit, but still it's pretty thick in the green. We kind of made a double high. Money flow got up to the point that we were at back here, which honestly isn't super bullish. We are now printing seemingly another trigger wave here, but VWAP has come up and is now curving back to the downside. Doesn't mean that it has to cross, but this is showing a bit of weakness. But still, you can see good direction here with momentum and with money flow. So I don't think the 12-hour looks super bearish right now, but when you look at some lower time frames, like the 6-hour, it's looking a bit weaker. Looks like we're about to print a red dot here. The 4-hour was looking pretty similar. Money flow actually crossed into the red and is now making lower lows. So overall, what did I get from this? Well, I'd say that the monthly and the weekly are looking decently bullish. Looking like we might want to start more of an extended uptrend here, with money flow crossing into the green on the weekly, momentum really coming up, and us potentially printing bottoms in momentum on the monthly. The 3-day and the 2-day look like they could continue, or that they may be topping out here. We are technically overbought on the 2-day with momentum being above the 60 line, but I have to say the daily makes me think that we may see continuation on the 2-day and the 3-day as well. 12 hours where it starts to look iffy, and then below that we start to see a little bit more bearishness. 1 hour not looking super strong either. We can check some of the midterm time frames. 24-minute money flow crossing down. So overall, to me, it looks like we definitely have potential to continue this uptrend here, but we may have to retrace a little bit or consolidate before we can see that happen. That's pretty much what I'm getting just from looking at market Cipher. Now, I am actually in an XRP trade right now. I am in a long, and I know you're thinking, why would I long the top? We're literally at resistance. We just SFP'd the highs. But I did actually have a reason for taking this trade. Even though it really isn't the best trade, I have a wide window of invalidation here. I didn't put a lot of margin on this. It was just kind of like, whatever, I'll throw this trade out there and see if it works. But the main reason I took this trade was because as we made higher lows here, we did see some potential absorption. We saw CVD making a lower low with the open interest increasing, and you can see, on this last push to the downside for CVD, open interest was steadily increasing, showing that people were, opening shorts right into the golden pocket 786 area, which is right here. So I figured, you know what, Bitcoin is looking bullish on the weekly. I could see us pumping up to 30K any day now. If that happens, alts are probably going to pump too. And you know what, if there's a whale betting on XRP going up after this retracement, then maybe I will as well. But I have to say, looking at market Cipher now, I may end up closing it. The midterm time frame is really starting to show bearishness, is not giving me a lot of confidence in holding this. So if we see continued bearish signs, such as a break in market structure, closing down below that last higher low, which don't mind my drawings here, I'm trying to do it with my left hand, but yeah, if we break market structure here, I'll probably end up closing this out and maybe potentially looking for a retrace a bit lower before those higher time frames start playing out, if they're going to. But yeah, that is pretty much my plans and my levels for XRP at the moment. So thank you all for watching the video. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. Really appreciate the support, and I will see you all in the next one.